and to have a granddaughter pick her. She does her best with the housework, though she's been blind for 4 years. Old age is respected in Zanskar, but it's no excuse for not working. Every day, Casey prepares a bone flour forms, sometimes adding yogurt or bread. It's the only dish at every meal. There are no fruits or vegetables, only raw groceries substitute.
Okay, 1 second, please. I got to log into the Tradestation. Okay, can you see my screen?
No, I can.
Okay, so the winners and the losers. So the losers of the day was Beyond Meaty, DraftKings, AMD, Chewy, Freshy Fresh, Vana, and CRM, and ASML and Dollar Tree. The winners, obviously, Lucid. This went up to 10 point something. And then it's also, no, it went cray at the end of the day. Open, Sam, woohoo, Riviano, Dallas, American, so the airlines are doing well. Pelotano, and that's it. Okay. Let's see. So as we had mentioned, the airlines did well today. Let's see. Let me put this on the daily. Okay. So the airlines did well, starting to do a little pick me up, bouncing around this area, this 16 area, which was an area of support as well before. So it may start to go up before I guess the end of summer, and then it starts to, go back down, I would say in September-ish. Apple has been beaten up the last couple of dias. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today was a neutral day, obviously because it's Apple, but I think it's still gonna continue to go down. It's been having a really great trajectory, so it's turning a leaf. It's below the 50 period and still above the 200. So, but I still think it's gonna continue downward pressure, especially since China is not doing very well. AMD, let's bounce this up a little bit. It's been bouncing up and down. Had a really bad day that day of last week. Bounce up from there, seems to be rejecting it and it's starting to go back down. So obviously it doesn't like the 120 so far. Amazon, it said it had a bad day. However, it's still up here. 139. I think it's still doing good. It's just having, a little pullback from the good couple of days that it's had. I still think this is gonna go up to at least 145. Let's see this level. So past this level, I think it's still gonna go to 145. AZO, no need to talk about that, but let's just look at it really quickly. It's flattish. So it did a cross finally. So the 50 over the 200, maybe it'll start turning things around and go down. But we shall see. We shall see. Boeing
I did get positive for a couple days.
in what? Azo?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Azo, let me think. Oh no, maybe I'm thinking of something else. No, it wasn't Azo, never mind.
Of course it wasn't, because your thing is like all the way down there.
Yeah,
So
I'm thinking of what you call it? That car thing.
oh, Avis, Caro. Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. If you can get rid of this trash, get rid of it at some point in your life, because obviously it should have been a long, not a short. Boeing, as you had predicted, doing very well. Now it's above this area here. So the question is, will it continue to go up? And I think the answer is C. So now it has surpassed this area, and it's above this level. So the next level might be up here, be above the 250. Banco, the bancos didn't do that well today, all of the bancos, but if you look at it on the minute chart, they all started bad, but then they turned a leaf and did actually very well. So you would also see this in EBC. It's just that they dropped down from the day before, kept on dropping, but if you got it at the low, it almost got back to the beginning of the dia. So yeah, they did overall not well compared to yesterday, but they still overall did a bounce back, in my opinion. BJ's 68.35. Meaty, the star of the show. This made me some dinero finally. Thank you, Meaty. I think that I'm not gonna buy this anytime soon unless it goes above 14 or so, and I think that would be a good opportunity. I'm gonna put a little notification to tell me if it gets above $14. And that's that. Caro, let's look at it here. Just been bouncing around this 225 area that it likes. It likes it a lot. Bounce here for a while before it goes kaboomps. So I think once it hits this 50 period line, if it hits it, it's gonna go down. So that's my prediction. It's at a good price point. It could be better if you got it above 240. That would be even a greater short. But if you happen to get it at the halfway point, you can make some dinero to 200. That's $20 per share. Let's skip Chewy. No need to talk about that. CRM. Vana, let's just look this real quick. Vana is still up here in this area. It's turning around. This thing eventually will die. So, if I had the cojones or dinero, I would start jumping on this, because this thing is trash bin. Dallas, the airlines did well. Dashi, it's been having a couple of rough days, I would think, because of prices and gas, and it was overextended. It's a little bit overpriced. The earnings weren't that fabulous. Revenue was okay, but the overall is still losing dinero. So this is overpriced, in my opinion. I do like trading Dashi, but again, I don't have the funds at this moment in time. Let's look at DraftKings. I think this has been doing well.
Please.
DraftKings. I think this is also overpriced, but it has been doing well because people are picking stuff up. Okay, so now starting to make dinero. So this is why I went 156%. So for the first time, I believe, earnings, it has made money. So from negative to positive, this is why it has been going up. We shall see if this trend continues,
Yes.
because
I'm
because
so
it's a fairly new company. Huh?
I'm very happy with DraftKings.
Yes, let's give a high five to DraftKings. High five. I think it's over here somewhere. There's some sort of emoticon that you can do. See if you can figure that out, Leanna, would you?
Mm, I'll try.
EBC, your favorito, the earnings weren't that awesome. It still is earning money, but the banks did have a little issue today. I like it at a lower price, but it is going up. This is the area of support that we have established. So if it hits up here, it would either reject it or continue moving upward, and that's what we have to see. But yeah, it's got a good it might cross those soon too. If you look at the 200 over the 50. Let's see, that was the EBC. Freshy Fresh Pat. So they're gonna downgrade this. Obviously, it was extended a lot because of earnings yesterday. It had better earnings than expected. However, as you can see from this earnings report, it's still losing dinero and the revenue was worse than they had anticipated. Therefore, you know what the deal is on this. Sooner or later, it's gonna come up from this pedestal. Okay, Google was sort of flattish, still doing good up there in that 130, 130 and 130, 150 range.
I
Let
think
me,
I shorted Google today.
yes, I believe you shorted it, and I think you did well on it. You got it at a good area. I wouldn't negate this going up to 135. It's I wouldn't negate this that this could
I
go
feel like
to
I
at
might short it on Thursday and maybe tomorrow too. I don't know, but maybe Thursday definitely.
it has a gap to fill. So that's something to note. Home Depot and Lowe's had a not a greatest. Actually, it looks like they were something that was said in the news regarding Home Depot, that the guidance or something, and it made it go down at the beginning of the day, but it looks fine to me. I mean, it is going a little bit downward, but it's still up
At
there.
least it's strong.
Yes, the trend is strong, but you know how it is. That's what they say on the news. We already talked about Lucid. I have found some articles for us that I deleted because I turned off the computer, but I wish I'd be able to find them. They're really good. They give a really good overview and explanation why this thing is gonna go nowhere.
I'm gonna start reviewing with you my classic.
Your what?
My classic.
Classe?
Yes.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me see. What's it? LCID. And I had also found a Wall Street Journal article, which was really good. This is the one that I found. The one that the other one that I found, it was like it would be read to us, but we don't have time for that today. Maybe tomorrow. Macy's didn't have the best of dias. Oh, so it's 15.93. I do like that area. I do like it at 15. That's one of my price points that I liked to look at. McDonald's, let's look at this. It's up in the sky. I'm loving it. It's below the 50. Still above the 200. Very upward trajectory. This is a machine that keeps on running. It's no stopping this. McDonald's. It's the one thing that you can guarantee on, just like toilet paper. Your Metalicious. Metalicious has been doing just kind of flattish. It's been showing signs of weakness in the last, well, not super signs of weakness. This thing is too much. This thing is overextended. At some point, it has to break because this is just, it's really amazing how well this thing just like, it's almost fake. That's how good this thing is. So at some point, it's going to pull an apple on us and start curving down. So I would think if it goes before it starts curving, if it goes at 330, that's a good place. But it is starting to do a little breakish almost. So it's something to watch out for, because it is overly extended. Softy, and you can see that Softy is maybe predicting what the others will do. So you can see that Softy started the game, was very extended, up here, up here, up here, boom, got up here, and now bang. The other ones are just slow, but this is like the leader of the pack. So sooner or later, Metalicious is bound to do this. So Softy and Apple have already curved down. They're below the 50 period. Let's see how low they go before they do the last quarter turnaround. But yeah, it's starting to go down, obvious downturn. Mew, Nefli, let's look at Nefli real quick. Looks like it's gonna hit back to that 450 soon. So it's starting to go back up, Leanna, and maybe your prediction might be right. It likes this area, 468.70. So we'll see if it hits it, if it surpasses this, and hits that 500. Because the trend is up. It is a very strong stocko. Nikete, 109.69. Sort of flattish, but look, it crossed. So if you believe this is good, this is a area of support now. You like that 100, that's it might be worth keeping an eye on it to see if it goes above a little bit or and stuff like that. Nvidia, open, your favorito, as we have both predicted, it hit the 5 and downward direction now. So we missed the boat. Peloton, keeping a slight eye on this. I put a notification to see if it goes back up a little bit at 9. It might do a crazy jump up, and that might be a good opportunity to jump on it. But we'll see. Rivian, I think it did well because the EVs were doing well, but we shall see if Tesla also followed this. Let's see how the news did. Earnings. So this is still losing dinero, but it did better than anticipated. So I think both Rivian and Lucid and probably Fisker had a good day today because they were just, hey, let's bring these EVs up for a second. Starbucks is at 100. It likes this area. Let me see the earnings. So the revenue wasn't that great. It still managed to make earnings somehow. Okay, let's see. Let's look at Target. That's continuing going down. It might hit it, Leanna. Let's see if it breaks this little point over here. See if it hits that 120. Taco Bell.
I wouldn't buy that for 10 pennies.
I would. If it hits that area, we would a day trade or whatever.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm afraid of it.
I probably won't buy it with all the stuff that I have anyway. But I'm just saying.
I'd rather get Bud, and I don't even
I rather get Piton. Uber. Again, it's the same thing as Dash, with gasolina going up, and this thing is still losing. Oh, this one is not losing money. Is Dash still losing money? I think so. This one is doing better than Dashy. It's finally making a little bit of dinero, but still the revenue is not didn't make that much revenue. It was slightly under. And let's see, Visa. I read an article regarding that the credit card debt went over $1 trillion or something regarding this credit cards. I have to find the article. I will remind me to show you tomorrow. Wayfair, what can I tell you? It's bad, but it's starting to turn around. Walmart, up in the sky. This is a really strong company. However, it does move slow, but it is a good company. XOM 107 93. We'll look at the winners and losers of this and then KAT. So Dell had a good day. Coin had a good day, and Disney. Some article was telling me that this is a good buy because it is down in gutter bill that at some point it should start turning around. It's at a good buying zone down here. So that's what they have said. Z and Florida, we're in the good races here. Upstart had a bad day, and Beyond Meat. I don't know why I have Beyond Meat here twice. I'm gonna get rid of this. Airbnb, Zumo, and let's look at Campbell. Okay, so this thing is I think where was the price point that we had? Okay, so we have it around here. It's getting there with this little like extra thing. Let's see if it breaks this 42 as well. So yeah, starting to go down, dip down. That was Campbell for you. Doc, your spacey space went down. It had earnings the other day. Obviously, it's losing dinero, and it did worse than it did better than expected, but still losing dinero. And that's it. Let's see. IBM, nothing else to see here. That's it. That's all I got. Buy the dip on EBC is usually one if it's on our notes. We had also discussed that, as if you're starting as a day trader and you don't have a lot of dinero, you may come up with we may have to be a little bit you're restricted at first because you can't just go in and out of stuff. But the point is, start. It's a good any time that you start something, even if you don't have a lot of dinero, it's good because it gives you time to learn. So that's all I gotta say regarding that.
We'll
Leanna,
talk about this tomorrow.
We'll talk and give you more information mañana.
We're gonna do an abridged version of our review tonight.
And that's it. I'm done.
This subject tomorrow.
Yes, maybe. We'll see.
You mean maybe? Well,
we were supposed to do it today. We forgot.
Because we were a little tardy, and
that's why I said maybe. We shall see.
I'm gonna get through the review quickly tomorrow, and then we'll have plenty of time.
Sure, that sounds good.
Believe me.
Yes, madama.
So I'm glad Beyond went down dramatically, like 15-16%. You were able to get out of it. I was able to go long, and how much did it come back up?
It almost went back up to like the beginning of the dia.
Yeah, that was a good. Sean had a good insight on that. That was really nice.
And so did Neil.
I guess. I don't know.
Because he has said this price. He has said, at 12 it would be a good. It's a what did he say? It's a good stop reversal. He has said that.
Yeah, I guess I missed that.
Yes. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Lucid's revenues missed the street expectations. 150 million miss. Expectations were 205. The company's operating loss surged almost 280 million a year.
A lot of information now.
Lucid burned over 904 million in the period, forcing the company to raise. So that means they're taking more debt, another 3 billion in capital.
Well, you got to look at this. If they can almost burn $1 billion and then get 3 billion more, that's pretty darn good. Jesus, I would only say, hey, give me $1 million. Like all these companies, man, if I just took $1 million and put it on the side for
Lucid
this,
burned over
like me,
904 million in the period, forcing the company to raise.
I don't see how that's forcing them. They burned $1 billion. They raised 3 billion, 3 times to replace it. And I don't see, I'll just put it this way. People are so hot on electric vehicles. That's great. Fine. Be that. Okay. I don't see, other than really nuclear, I don't really see what's
Yeah, this is
renewable. Maybe wind energy. Um, but like solar panels, you have all these solar panels that are left. It just seems like these EV cars, you have all these batteries and stuff. I don't see how that is all like
this is the one that I wanted to read out loud.
or beneficial to the earth. What is this about? Lucid again?
Yeah, it's basically also Lucid. The problem with Lucid is that it's considered a luxury EV. And what this article is basically saying,
So Tesla
if
was
we're,
considered a luxury.
huh?
Tesla was considered a luxury till they lowered the prices. Anything
Yes,
can be
until they lowered the price. So now it's kind of like Tesla is kind of, you can consider it like a BMW slash Toyota slash, but they're considering Lucid to be sort of like, hey, I'm a Ferrari Porsche type of car. And what they're basically saying, not everybody can afford these types of cars. And it takes a lot of dinero
But
to
they're
even,
not they're gonna do Tesla's play. They're gonna sell a few at like $1 billion a car, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, now we don't want to sell it at $1 billion. We're gonna sell it at $1 million. Oh, now we don't want to sell it at $1 million. We're gonna go to scale and sell at 500,000. That's all they're gonna do, and it's just gonna keep getting cheaper. Just like
yes.
who bought
It's
Tesla?
gonna keep getting cheaper, but it takes a lot of dinero to produce a car. And so what they're saying is it's taking a lot of resources for them to even make these cars. Yeah, they don't have it
Okay,
down packed like Tesla.
but it's boutique, and all they have to do is get people driving these things and let it become the new thing. So they have a big L on the car that says Lucid, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what is this thing? I got the new Lucid." Oh, that's all they're trying
Well,
to
you could say
do.
the same thing about Rivian, and you can say the same thing about Fisker.
Yeah, but I would say like Lucid's going more for the like hardcore like expense. Like there are people in the world who will just buy something just because it's the most expensive thing. And they'll just
Yeah,
buy it.
but yes, they'll buy it. But that's why this thing is saying it's not everybody that's gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
athletes, it's
it's
gonna be
it's gonna
rich
be like
people.
2%, 2% or less. And in order for you to keep going, you need more than 2% because the other market, aka Ferrari, Porsche, and these guys have a better advantage over
Yeah,
you.
it's gonna be the top 5% that's gonna try to get it.
That's so they'll be like, why would I if I'm a LeBron James, why would I get this Lucid when I can get a Ferrari or a Porsche? Please.
Well,
That's stupid. I would not get it. I would be
you
like,
probably get
get me
three
a
because
Bentley.
LeBron
I
James.
would I would be like LeBron James would be like, get me a Bentley. They wouldn't be like, get me a Lucid.
Well, you may get a Bentley and a Ferrari, and then after a few years, you may be like, oh, let me check out the Lucids. Just like
No, you
after
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
people buy different cars.
Please, if you're rich, you would not bother with this nonsense. You would
I
just
don't
be
see
like,
why.
I'm gonna get it. You would be like, oh, I'm gonna get another Bentley or another Ferrari. In fact,
No, people try different things.
I might just get a vintage car that costs $400,000 or $1 million in this porcaria.
people try different things.
I'm not saying otherwise. I'm saying it most likely no, though. If I'm rich, I'm not gonna get a Lucid. I just get a Ferrari or some other more high luxury car.
People who are rich, I ask myself every day, why do people get Teslas? But they get them every single day.
Yeah, but the price point of Tesla is not the same. It's been going
They
down.
were
They
getting them.
have to bring this down a lot. They have to
They
bring this
were
down a lot.
getting, people were getting Teslas when Teslas were
Tesla
manufactured.
realized all this long ago is sold. So like, yes, they will have to bring it down, but they will have to manufacture more of these cars and sell them. So that's the point here. They're targeting luxury people. And it's
Yeah,
so that's what all I'm saying is it's gonna take a lot.
they're gonna, they're not gonna succeed. That's the point. I don't even understand why Tesla is succeeding, to be honest with you. But hey,
It's the whole hype of the EV, but like I said, there's a lot of competition out there, and you got Fisker in line, you got
I understand.
Riviano, and you got
I don't,
Tesla. So
I don't understand why EV in general is succeeding. To me, a hybrid is different from EV. A hybrid is one thing. Hybrid to me makes sense. Just pure EV does not make sense to me. I'm sorry.
I
It
don't
doesn't.
disagree with that. I don't disagree with that either. I wouldn't get a EV. I would also get a hybrid. And that's what, and actually was listening to the news the other day, and most people in general now are getting a hybrid instead of just an EV. Like that's what they're buying more. Hybrid.
Yeah, people act like, oh, gas is can get expensive, and I'm like, what do you think electricity is going to be? You think electricity is just going to be cheap once everyone starts driving electric cars? No,
It's gonna be worse.
it's going to
And
be worse.
and I read another article too that it actually emits more emissions or like pollutants than
Of course it
gasoline.
does, because
It got
now you're going to have to deal with all these batteries. You can't just throw a freaking Tesla battery pack inside a freaking trash can.
yes,
You know,
ma'am.
you have to
So yes,
like go all out and like get rid of it like a freaking like this like a I don't know, like a something toxic, like a chemical, like where it's like, oh, it's gonna be battery day at your local you know your local citywide
I found it was here
deposit.
somewhere.
Go deposit your electric batteries with all of this freaking battery juice in it. It's just like, I don't know. It just seems crazy to me. And that you're saying that's good for the environment? Of course not.
It's not. Okay, right here I found it.
Of
The
course,
myth
it's a myth. The whole thing's a myth. The
electric cars are often referred to as zero emission vehicles along with hydrogen fuel cell and solar power cars, but their total emissions are nowhere near zero. That's because EVs are only zero emissions when it comes to tailpipe emissions, not for the entire emissions involved in operating them. When you factor in emissions from the energy used to charge their batteries, EVs actually emit about half the greenhouse gases of their internal combustion counterparts. Most electricity used to charge EVs is generated from fossil fuels, which must be burned in order to produce electric power.
Elisa, they say it's half now, but when we start having billions and
Yes,
billions of battery
yes.
packs that we have to
Mhm.
put in addition on
It's
and
probably
land,
gonna be worse.
and
It's
it's
probably
gonna be worse. They'll be like,
yes.
oh, we have to now we have uh uh 50 billion people um that are throwing away
And
batteries.
now people are getting cancer from this
Yeah,
stuff. The
it
fossil fuels
doesn't make
most
no
commonly
sense.
used are natural gas and coal. Coal power plants produce more emissions than natural gas ones. And last but
Exactly.
not and last but not least, as demand for EVs rises, so too will their total emissions, at least as long as we continue to rely on fossil fuels to generate the electricity that charges their batteries.
Uh-uh.
Ton, ton, ton. So I have found this. So basically, the moral of the story is yes, EVs are not even that great. and they're not great for the environment. And if
That's why I never understood people who were like, oh,
well, it's all about the hype, you know, because people are like, "Ooh,
but
we need
everybody always says, oh, I'm into the environment. That's why I'm buying an electric vehicle. And it's
please."
like,
It's worse. It's worse
to do for the
overall.
environment, it's the same, if not worse.
Mhm.
And let's
It's
just
the same. It's the whole hype. The same thing with AI. It's like, okay, we all these machines are gonna take over now. Like, you know, like what? Everything's gonna be done with. They've been doing AI. Like, military has been doing AI since a long time ago. It's not like this thing is new. This thing is old AI. It's just like they're all hyping it up to bring the market up and slam it down. And that's just my humble opinion.
Canela wants to say no, Jeff.
I'll talk to you later, Canella.
Canela, say no, Jeff. She was just coming by to say no, Jeff. For
Hold
real.
on a second.
Say no, girl. Oh man, I like that. Where'd you get this from?
It was a regalo.
Man, for what? Upcoming cumpleaños or what?
This is old.
Oh, okay. Like what's it for though? Like what type of birthday or what?
Some Gumara gave it to me.
Umada?
Somebody's Gumara gave it to me.
Okay. All right, I guess you'll tell me later. Yeah.
And I'll keep you in suspense mañana.
I like the Gumada gift.
Yes, it was very, very good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Um,
So
and it
anyway,
matches. I'll
huh?
talk to you later. Have a good night. And we're already overboard because we got sidetracked by EVs and Lucid. I'll talk to you later.
Peace out.